Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Salt and Pepper Unleashed. This ain't your grandma's nursing home. In fact, the name for the show, Salt and Pepper, came about as we thought of the population we've been serving at Greenwood Village South for 62 years. These are older adults who have recently retired or are thoughtfully planning for retirement, possibly with salt and pepper hair themselves, and they are ready for resort living. They're unleashing themselves from the burden of home maintenance and repairs, homeowners insurance, property taxes, utility bills, cooking, cleaning, and so much more. They're ready to embrace a carefree lifestyle in a luxury residence with state-of-the-art amenities. They're picking local and they're staying local. But salt and pepper has another meaning as well. In an article entitled Finding Flavor in Differences, Embracing Salt and Pepper Relationships from Medium.com, a salt and pepper relationship can manifest in a variety of ways. It can refer to differences in age, race, culture, or personality. The key characteristic of a salt and pepper relationship is that the partners are vastly different from each other. They may have different perspectives, experiences, or even values. Despite these differences, they're able to connect and complement each other in a way that feels natural and effortless. The salt and pepper community members at Greenwood Village South combine to create the perfect seasoning. I'm pleased to be joined today by Phil and Cindy Jones, who have made the decision to place a deposit on the Village Flats. They're looking forward to resort-style living when the construction is complete in 2027. Phil and Cindy, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll jump right into it. When we talk about moving to Greenwood Village South, we're not necessarily competing with other senior living communities. We're competing with the house that you currently live in and the house that other prospective residents currently live in. That's where the inertia and trepidation comes from, is people don't want to make the move from their home, right? And so help us understand what that kind of thought process looked like for you and how you've come to kind of the understanding that, no, this is going to be our home. It truly is a home, not just a nice, beautiful dwelling. Mm-hmm. So what'd that look like for either of you? I just have to say, Phil, you're a smart man. Before anything, you automatically defer. And you're like, okay, I'll take it. You smart man.
Actually, we started thinking about a retirement process years ago in our own home when we tore out the carpet, put down hardwood floors. At one point in time, I was using a walker, and there was a bathroom door we couldn't get through with a walker. And so we decided to widen the doors when we did a bathroom remodel.
Was that the time that Cindy hit you in the leg?
Oh, absolutely.
When you acted up?
It was painful.
Yeah,
it was very painful. We remodeled the second bathroom. We took out a tub. We put in a walk-in shower, put in new flooring, countertops. 16 years ago or so, I had remodeled the bathroom, our kitchen with new countertops. So I feel like in a way we had seniorized our house already, but there were some other changes that I felt like I'd like to make, a larger recreation area or open air concept, open up the kitchen, which was going to be very expensive. And then, at the end of the day, this opportunity came along. It's new construction, gives us the opportunity to select countertops, light fixtures, and the floor plan itself is very wide open. So I'm very excited to make the move. It's not too much smaller than where we currently live. So it just seems like a natural for us.
Yeah. From what I hear from Cindy, though, you are going to have to get rid of some of the stuff in your garage.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
You got that loaded up. So.
Absolutely.
And I think I recall hearing you say that you were intentional about widening doorways, even just to kind of plan for the future, not just in the interim utilizing the walker, but planning for the future in that. And now it's like, well, now everything's kind of senior friendly in the flats, just because it's designed to be that way for people to live happy and healthy, as independent as long as possible. So
Exactly.
So, obviously there's a lot of kind of like we said, that inertia with, well, this is where I live, and it's the stuff, and it's the things, and it's your routine. There's so many things that create that inertia. What were some other trepidations that you had to kind of overcome mentally and emotionally before really coming to the fact that, senior living is kind of a sweet deal when you look at the whole picture? What were some of those other trepidations that you had?
Actually, I had very few trepidations in the fact that my father lived here for 6 years, and he passed away in 2010. Since that time, there have been many updates to this campus, this facility. But when he lived here, he was very happy. He was very active. I was able to dine with him many times in the dining room, and was very impressed with the way the food preparation was. And so I really look forward to this situation. The biggest trepidation for me was convincing Cindy to make that move.
Yeah. So that less of a trepidation, more of a challenge. So Cindy, what were your trepidations?
Just the financial side of it, and thinking that far ahead. I knew I needed to. I had to. I went through the process with my mom, out of the home of 50 years into a patio home. That didn't last long, into assisted living. And my bad, it was totally just an assisted living. It wasn't a continuum of care. So when we got the postcard from GVS about, plan, what would your plan look like in a future retirement home, we had fun filling that out. And then a few months later got invited to a presentation, and it just changed my whole attitude. And after the appointment, made me realize our financial situation was fine. And, other than giving up some yard work, which I'm slowing down in anyway, the parts of the house that we don't even use that I still need to go dust and clean. And but that was the only, my big thing was the financial side. And then.
And I think a lot of times, it's apples to oranges, and people don't realize that when they look at that, the quote cost analysis, and it's so much more than just the price point. It's what you're getting for that expense. And until you come in and sit down individually, independently with a sales counselor and look at your situation compared to what would that financial situation look like at Greenwood Village South, you don't know. And what we find often is once people put pen to paper and they say, this is what we pay in our home for all these utilities and all these services and all this. And then wait a minute, I don't have to pay for any of that anymore. I don't have homeowners insurance. I don't have property taxes. I mean, it really adds up. And then when you look at it, and to me, it's like, things are different than they were 10 years ago. 10 years ago, if your refrigerator was broken, you called and they said, okay, we'll be there tomorrow between 10 and noon. Nowadays, okay, we'll be there next week, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And then ultimately, if they do give you a day, it's the whole day. Right. And I'm like, how do people do that? Especially, with young kids, we look at it as, if people have a family with a dual income household where both parents are working, how do you even get things done around the house when you're having to do that? And then you look at moving into Greenwood Village South, and you throw all of it out the window because you don't have to worry about any of that anymore. And so even if the cost is a dollar to dollar, exact exchange, the value you're getting from that level of convenience is, if I were to put a price tag on it, I'd probably pay way more than I should for it, just because it seems like a pie in the sky opportunity, but it's a reality.
Yeah. Now it's peace of mind for me.
Yeah.
Phil had told me, showed it to me on paper, but until I heard it from someone else, did it really sink in?
So we talk about the lifestyle of living at Greenwood Village South in general. What has you most excited about the flats specifically? Besides the fact that you have absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the most gorgeous, well-designed floor plan imaginable. I mean, when we put that thing up on the screen, just hearing people in the room go, oh. So besides that, because that's a given, what has you most excited?
Well, that was a big one, and after that first presentation, I immediately ran over, sat down, wrote a check, and made that appointment. But since that time, Greenwood Village South offers so many activities for residents here, not only on campus but away from campus, whether it be dining at some of the nicest restaurants in and around Indianapolis, having field trips, whether it be to baseball games, to the racetrack that's happening this next weekend or 2 weekends, going to Keeneland for a 2-day trip. We went to Chicago around the holidays. We've just really taken advantage of those, and we haven't even moved in yet, and that's just scratching the surface. Yeah. So to me, community is very important. Certainly we have friends that we go out with from time to time, but when you live in a single-family residential neighborhood, it's not like they're all right around ready to go. Yeah. But I think living in a community like this, we'll be bumping into neighbors constantly. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. What about you, Cindy?
Same thing, sense of community. Yeah. We're very active at our church and volunteering at our food pantry, but this will just give us more opportunities for volunteerism. And, as we slow down in age, we don't have to go, 5-10 miles to our church. It's right here on this campus. Yeah. So just a lot more right here at our fingertips.
Yeah. I've got a question, but I've got to digress a second here. Phil, you've mentioned dining twice. You talked about, off-site dining, the, GVS, but you also talked about with your father and, the great experience that he had and that you had with him when you dined here with him. I think back, if he passed in 2010, I have two older brothers and a younger sister. My older brother is about 11 and a half months older than me. So we're almost Irish twins. We're in different years, but we're close enough to be that. And one of his jobs when he graduated high school, went to college, was Franklin College, which is just down the road. One of his first jobs was serving here at Greenwood Village South. And so I would love to be able to go back in time and be curious to know if he ever served your father or served you and your father when you were here with him. It'd be funny, but I share that story because he gives me a hard time. And even my younger sister, she worked here as a part-time server before I ever worked here as the executive director. And so he especially gives me a hard time and says that I'd never have this job if it weren't for him. He paved the way for me. So I love that.
I hope they did as nice a job as the servers that have waited on us since we've been
awesome.
Here. They're friendly. They know your name. It's just a tremendous experience to dine here.
I tell you what, it's remarkable. If I had to slice, into buckets, the types of compliments that we receive as an organization from residents and from guests, I would have to put a singular bucket dedicated to the servers. They're a remarkable group of and it's a lot of younger kids, but it's like we get the cream of the absolute crop, and they're phenomenal. What's hilarious to me is they cannot do anything wrong. If a resident has something that they share with me, like, this could be improved, I'm like, well, did the server do this? It wasn't the server's fault. I'm like, okay, I'll back off that. I won't.
They're buddies.
Yeah, they are, and it's like don't you look at the server for this.
Right.
Someone else had to be at fault. So, but it is so endearing to see that relationship. And what I share with residents is, they give so much, recognition and appreciation to the servers and that experience. But what residents don't understand is what they're giving to those servers is so valuable as well. I mean, some of this may be the closest, adult or grandparent type relationship that they have in their lives, or maybe the most, kind of meaningful or with the most depth. And, the servers come to really care about the residents, and the residents really care about the servers, and they want to know what's going on in their lives. And it's such a special relationship to see that.
And several of those servers have been here a long time, which says a lot.
Absolutely, it does, because it's not an easy job to begin with, but because being a not-for-profit community, we don't allow solicitation or tipping, and so they're earning their base rate, but they don't get tips, and so we're competing with restaurants that are their wages are based off of their base wage plus tips, and it's tough because some of these servers could probably make a lot of money working somewhere else because they would earn a lot in tips, and there are often times where residents still try to tip them. And then what I find amazing is the servers have realized there are some residents that are so stubborn and that they would be so offended if you didn't take it, that they'll take it, they'll be gracious, and then they'll come to their supervisor and they'll say, hey, Mrs. Johnson gave me this. She was adamant, and so they give it back, but they take it just to kind of appease that relationship, which is pretty cool. You talk a lot about community and being active, and you've already been engaged, but even as future residents, right? Current depositors, future residents, what has it done to your sense of community with Greenwood Village South to not only engage with other depositors for the flats, but existing residents and some long tenured residents? What has that done to kind of your comfort level with the decision of calling GVS home here in 2 years, and just in general the sense of community that you have?
Well, the fact that some of the events, call it if you will, that we've attended, happy hours. Call it what it is.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. But these are residents that have been living here for quite some time. And so to be able to interact with them and to hear their experiences, having been here as long as they have, it gives me that confidence that when I move in here, I'm going to be happy. These are going to be my future friends. So, I look forward to that a lot.
Yeah. I walk the mall a day a week, and now I'm running into other residents at the Greenwood Park Mall.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. But my thing I take away the most is coming to these events is getting to know the staff and how much they care and what all they do to make us feel included, and just hearing from the other residents how great the staff is. And it just is a peace of mind for me moving forward when I get in here.
Well, and I tell you what, it's kind of funny. The happy hour is always kind of a joke, but it's a social it's a social event, and it really is kind of a glue that kind of brings people together. But what I find interesting is it's one thing to hear about Greenwood Village South from me or from a sales counselor. It's another to hear about it from, resident ambassadors. But I tell you what, you sit down at happy hour, and these are residents that may or may not be involved in anything GVS outside of kind of their personal life. You're going to get a very real honest opinion on life at GVS. And then you add a little alcohol to that, and then you get real honest. And I tell you what, if you spend some time with someone in that situation and you walk away feeling as confident and comfortable as you do with your future at GVS, that says something. So It's like that truth serum really
Right.
really puts it out there for you.
Liquid truth.
So I love that. So let's shift a little bit. I am aware that there are so many myths and misconceptions when it comes to senior living and what senior living is. And I want to touch on just a few of those and want you to share kind of your thoughts on those and maybe share how they're not really the case and what is different. One we hear too often is, I'm too young for a senior living community. What do you think about that myth? And what do you think when you hear that? And did you ever have that misconception?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's part of me, and I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to keep me young with the activities and the friendships and, being able to walk the campus right here and feel safe and secure. I mean, we're in a lovely neighborhood now, but, kids whiz by on bikes and motor scooters, and we're not going to have that here. So, that's I'm not too young.
Good. Very good. What about you, Phil?
Oh, the first realization that you're older is when you start getting your first Social Security check.
That's it, huh?
That's it. And then from there on out, it's just the simple fact that when my mother passed away, she passed away at a I would say your average age. My dad lived to 92, 94. Enjoying life as well as he can, although the times that he lived here, he probably visited the hospital 3 or 4 times in an emergency vehicle because he had TIAs, just little mini strokes. So, and we have friends today that are going through their physical challenges. So, bottom line is you don't know what your life has in store in the future. So, in making the decision, whether it be in your 60s or in your 70s or even, God forbid, your 80s to decide to move here, you're moving here with that peace of mind that Cindy mentioned, that you're going to be taken care of. Up until that time, we can live the active lifestyle that we want, but just the opportunity to have that option if something happens, that we can go to be taken care of for rehab if something happens. We can go to the assisted living when we get to that point. We can shift from rooms that we need to, if we're separated for any reason and one of us needs a smaller room. So many options.
Yeah.
That you don't have when you're in a single-family residential house or you're committed only to an independent living facility.
Well, and to your point, I mean, this is let alone all those opportunities, but you're getting the trust of it all being with the same organization. You talk about, you like coming to the events because you're getting to know the staff. I mean, those are the same people that are helping you throughout any and every temporary or long-term transition in that time frame. So, again, you talk about the value. You can't put a price tag on that.
Not at all.
And you look at Do you two know what the minimum age, the minimum age requirement is to live at a licensed CCRC community in Indiana? 62. 62. Yeah. That's once you're 62, you're age qualified to move into a CCRC or a life plan community like Greenwood Village South. You see all these 55 plus communities coming up everywhere, which I think are great because just the growth of the senior population in the next 20, 25, 30 years, I think those are great opportunities. But what people don't realize is that's great if you move in when you're 55 because you do have that sense of community with, like-minded people, same age range, and you might have some amenities, but you have no services. You have no continuity of care. You don't have anything. And so I've been posed the question at times, are you concerned that these are going to be your competition? Well, absolutely not, because hopefully people have already lived there for 10, 15 years and then are looking at the next stage, of their life at Greenwood Village South, because it has all those things that you talked about. So 55 plus communities will end up being our feeder if people actually move in when they're 55 plus and don't wait until they're 75 plus thinking they're going to get any type of assistance when they need it if something were to happen. And talking about that, another misconception or a myth is senior living is a nursing home. It's like, have you heard that one before?
The exact words of our son.
Yeah.
When we proposed to him what our plans were. And I refreshed him. I was like, you remember Grandpa Jones was in here and you came and played shuffleboard with them. And no, it's not a nursing home. So after we talked it through, he was thankful and grateful that we've got this plan in place. And I said, when we do need a nursing home, you won't have to try and find one for me. It's going to be right here at your fingertips. So he got off of that little thought process.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about you? Same experience for you? Did you have that misconception?
No.
Probably not since
not.
your father. I mean, you had the experience.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just based off your social circle, what would you say is the percentage of your social circle that has that misconception, that doesn't understand fully what a life plan community is?
What percentage of our circle? Oh boy, I'd have to say maybe 80%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, and that's scary. That it's kind of crazy. And I think that's really our biggest challenge, is the fact that the right group of people in terms of age qualified, I mean, the people that should be looking at Greenwood Village South as that opportunity, they don't know what it is. And so it's like our biggest challenge is really educating the market on what the opportunities truly are. I shared this on a presentation here recently. Greenwood Village South, 64-acre campus. Once the flats are completed, 75% of all residences on this campus will be independent living. Only 25% will be any higher level of care. And it's like, no, we're a fraction of our community is a nursing home. And it's not a nursing home. It's so much more than that, because there's even community in that. I feel that even the words nursing home have a negative connotation to them.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, man, we got to get out there and kind of beat the pavement and teach people. Maybe we can get a slot on one of the local news channels or something.
Yeah.
It's Disneyland for senior living.
That's what we just need to rename it. Maybe that would work for it. So, I feel like you've talked about so many things that would be supportive of at least people looking into Greenwood Village South or the specifically the flats. But in kind of summing it up, why should others consider placing a deposit on the Village Flats? Cindy, we'll hear from you first.
Just curiosity and hearing all the ins and outs, and just the reassurance, knowing that it can be done and it is a plan in place for yourself and for your family, your kids, that they don't have to worry about it. Yeah. So.
Placing a deposit at Greenwood Village South gets you the opportunity to select the floor plan, of which there are several, in a community that's only going to have 66 available. And with the increased attention to Greenwood Village South and the flats, there's only going to be a limited opportunity to get initial move-in benefits. You get your, first of all, as I mentioned, you get your choice of floor plans. By signing a contract or by putting a deposit down today, Greenwood Village will guarantee your monthly fees in 2027 when the building is ready at 2025 pricing. There's nobody that's going to guarantee you a payment in 2027 today, other than Greenwood Village. You get immediate access to all the GVS activities. You are considered a resident with a deposit. So those are the primary benefits that you're going to be getting by placing your deposit. And the current pricing for the units is limited. It won't be too long before pricing will start going up, and so you will get the benefit of a lower price by placing a deposit today. So I would recommend getting an appointment with the Greenwood Village South sales counselor, find out the benefits that are afforded, and be open to at least writing a deposit check, which is 100% refundable, should you decide to change your mind up until the time you actually move in. So that's what I think.
Phil, you are good. I think I'm going to hire you and write a check for a deposit right now. I don't even know how this happened. I'm supposed to be the host of this podcast, and here I am placing a deposit and hiring you for a position that I don't even have. This is crazy.
Well, I as I said earlier, when we went to the first presentation, I was so excited about the opportunities that are lined out there. I got up and immediately went over to the desk to write a check because I saw other people getting up and I wanted to be there first.
Well, and in all honesty, and we joke around about it a little bit, but looking back, good thing you did, because that gorgeous floor plan, it got gobbled up real quick, and there's no more of that specific floor plan. And now there's even folks that have placed deposits on another floor plan and said, but if one of those comes open, I want it. And so you're right. There's value in being, first or, early in line to get the one that you want, that you're going to call home. So, very compelling argument, and I'll get my check signed here in just a few when we wrap this up. So, we started this early on in the show and have continued this through all the episodes, and it's become our signature question. And so I want to ask each of you, if you could be remembered for just one thing, what would it be and why?
I want to be remembered for being a caring person, caring for my church family, the food pantry folks that we serve, caring for my neighbors, but most of all, caring for Phil and our son, that we've made this plan and that I care enough about them that they won't have to worry about my future because I've already got it planned out. So, I just hope people know how much I care about them.
Well, Cindy, being, wanting to be remembered as a caring person, just the immense gift that someone could provide to their adult children in making that plan. I don't think people really understand the gravity of that gift and how much it means to someone when they don't have to make assumptions and try to think, what would my parents want? It's really amazing to see that, but it's also it's heartbreaking to see when that plan's not been made, and to see families struggle to try to determine how to best honor or what wishes their loved ones or parents would want, and unfortunately, maybe they've not had that conversation with their children. And it is an absolutely emotionally detrimental process when that doesn't take place. So that gift is truly tremendous. So that in itself, I think you've chalked that up to success.
I hope. Thank you.
Phil, what about you?
I'd like to be remembered as an honest person. Along with Cindy, a caring person. We spend an awful lot of time volunteering to help different organizations achieve their goals, to enrich people's lives. We're faith-filled, so we strongly believe that it's important to carry a spiritual background along with us. So just loving one another, helping helping mankind and just doing the best we can do.
You know, I have to share this with both of you. You know, when early on in the process, you've talked about part of the piece that you like coming to the events is learning the staff and getting to know them. But it's given us a chance to get to know you as well. And, you know, in the early stages, when you're talking about the X's and O's of Greenwood Village South and, you know, the flats and the expansion and the floor plans, there's not a lot of space to really get to know people. But over the last several months, I feel like I've gotten to know you and you've gotten to know me. And it has been heartwarming to know you in one capacity and then get to know how giving and you know, faith-based in your decision making, and you know, Phil, I can say that you've taken your professional skills that have made you successful in life, and you've applied those to being able to give to other organizations, and so I can see that in your day-to-day actions, and so I would say both of you are doing a pretty dang good job of you know, getting to that point of being remembered for what you want to be and kind of leaving that legacy. So kudos to both of you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you to both of you for coming on the show today. It's been a blast. You know, it's always good to sit down and chat with either or both of you. And this time has proven to not disappoint yet again. So looking forward to next time.
Thank you.
Look forward to it. But I'm a planner.